Hi, welcome to automationtesting.in. In this video, we will see timeouts in JUnit 5. So what do you mean by timeouts in JUnit 5? We'll see by taking an example. So let's go to Eclipse. So here I'll create a class, new class. I say timeouts test. So you are expecting a test should execute within this time. So you are executing you're calling an API. That API should be executed within 5 seconds. So, but it's taking more than 5 seconds. Then you want to mark that test as failure. Okay. At that time it is very helpful. So that is one example I can say. But to show that, we'll take one example. Public void timeout test. I'll say timeout test. So inside this, I want to print something. Test passed within the time. Okay. So, but let's assume thread dot sleep. It's a 5 seconds. Okay. So it will forcefully stop my execution for 5 seconds, right? But my timeout, for the timeout, we have one of the annotations called timeout. So timeout, it should execute within 4 seconds. I'm saying my timeout is 4 seconds, but I am forcefully stopping the execution for 5 seconds. Obviously it will not complete within 5 seconds. So obviously my test case will fail. We'll see what happens when this is the condition. That is the advantage of, you see that timeout failed, timed out after 4 seconds. After 4 seconds it's timed out, it will not continue the execution. So obviously my test will fail. Now what I'll do, I'll make it 5. So both are 5 seconds, though sometimes it may fail because of fraction of milliseconds, but we'll see. It is executing. You see that the test case passed. Test passed within the time. And you can see here, my test passed. Right. So this is the advantage when you want to expect a method should be executed within specified time, then you can mention the timeout annotation. If it is not executing within the time which is mentioned in the timeout annotation, obviously my test case will fail. So that is the advantage when you go with timeout. So we'll take one more example and we'll see how it will be. Public void, I say timeout test 1. So we have, instead of thread.sleep, we have one more option from the Jupyter. Okay. Sorry, this is from java.util. So this also you can use it, just showing an example. I say milliseconds. Otherwise you can say seconds dot, we have again sleep. So I can say same example 5 seconds, and I'll copy paste the same message and I'll throw IO interrupted exception. If I need to mention the @timeout, and I'm giving the same. Now I'll give 6 seconds. So it should execute within 6 seconds, but I'm forcefully stopping for 5 seconds. Obviously, my test case will pass. We'll see. This is just an example that instead of thread.sleep, you can use this time unit dot seconds dot sleep. It's an enum. It's still executing. My system is a bit slow, so taking bit time. You see that? It's passed. The reason is, and we forcefully stopped the execution also, 5 seconds, right? So it's not because of slowness in my mission. And again, this is, we already mentioned that wait for 5 seconds. That is also an extra wait we have given. So that is the reason. So it took some time and it passed. The reason is we are giving to pass this test case 6 seconds, but it took only 5 seconds. So obviously it will pass. Okay. So we'll take one more example. And we'll say another way of doing this. Public void timeout test2. So here what I'll do, I'll take one private method, private void delay seconds. So how much time you want to delay that execution? So I'll mention int seconds, and here I can give whatever I want, thread.sleep or whatever it is. So I will give thread.sleep. So if it is thread.sleep, I need to give milliseconds. I'll take this one. So then I can directly mention seconds here. Okay, obviously it will throw interrupted exception. Now, what I need to do, now I'll directly use assertions. Okay, in the real time we'll use assertions, right? Assertions. Assertions from the Jupyter API. Assertions dot assert. We have one more option. Assert timeout. Okay, so assert timeout. We need to mention the timeout. Okay, so here you have one more. You see duration. It is giving me, see, duration and executable. Executable means some executable method. So duration dot of seconds. So I'm waiting for 5 seconds, and the executable means some method should be executed. I'm giving this method to execute, but here executable means we need to mention lambda expression, something like this. That is a syntax. And delay in seconds, I will mention it is 5 seconds, and I'm giving 6 seconds. Okay, so I'm giving 5 seconds and it will take 6 seconds to execute this. So we'll see what will happen to this time unit to test. And here I don't need to mention timeout test. I'm giving that information in the assertions. Okay. So it failed and saying execution exceeded timeout of 5000 milliseconds by 1005 milliseconds. Fraction of seconds I already mentioned, right? So basically it should execute within 5 seconds, but it is taking 6 seconds. So 1 second extra it is taking. That is the reason it failed. So if I make it 7, okay. Now I'm giving the test to execute 7 seconds. My test case is taking only 6 seconds. Obviously, my test case will pass. So it is executing. The reason is we are waiting for 6 seconds, right? It will wait for the 6 seconds. You see that my test case passed. Okay. In this way also, you can use this timeout in JUnit 5. Okay. So one is timeout annotation, and another one is in the assert timeout. In the assertions, you have one of the options called assert timeout, and the first parameter is duration and the second parameter is executable. So here you need to mention how much time you are giving that method to execute, and this is the actual execution. Okay. So this is how you can use timeouts in the JUnit. That's all in this video. Thank you.